spirits. Currently, you're in a rather empty room. Beds still strewn about in relatively good shape, all things considered. And let me check something. Yeah, no, you've only just managed to beat them. The bodies are still strewn about. Most of you still feel a bit of an adrenaline rush from fighting. What do you want to do?
First off, is there anybody else in the room?
Yes, there is currently Octavius, Azriel, Grima.
No, I mean like not my party. Like enemies that need to be put.
You kick the body at your feet. It looks pretty dead.
Okay. Is there any doors going into any other rooms?
Mira or Manny?
This one's Mira. There is one here that you can certainly try. It looks like it leads outside. There's also one at the far other end of the room. And now that you look around, the lights, the darkness has kind of lit up from the room. Now looks like you guys can see pretty well.
Where did you say that second door was?
Around here.
All right, ping that for me one more time.
So,
Hey, Mira.
So,
I was still trying to figure out where that second door was.
oh, sorry, no, I pinged it. It's closer to Grima, around here.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I'm gonna go to the first door that you pinged and try it.
All right. You walk up, and it has like an old ornate handle. You try it, it comes off the first time you try and open it. And who's drawing?
I'm doing that just so I know where it is myself.
Okay, so the handle falls off.
Yep, it does.
Can I tell it by the hinges which way the door is meant to open, whether it's a push or a pull?
You don't see any hinges, so you're assuming push.
Okay, I'm gonna kick the door open if I can.
Roll strength check. And while she's doing that, the rest of you, what do you want to do? Octavius?
I'm gonna help with the strength.
Okay. You have advantage, so roll again. Octavius, Azrael, what do you two want to do?
Did we finish a long rest by any chance?
No. This is right after the battle.
Do we loot it for anything? Do we search for a key piece or?
No, it's literally right after the battle. The first thing any of you have done is try breaking open a door.
And I'll start looking for a key piece or anything of interest in here.
All right, roll investigation. All right, roll investigation with advantage. Eventually you do. It's actually at the bottom of one of the foot lockers in front of the bed. It's buried under a pile of old moth-eaten fabrics. It looks to be one half of the teeth to a key.
Did I succeed in my strength check to kick the door open?
Oh yeah, with the door. You do put a sizable crack in it, but it doesn't budge. Huh.
Can I see through the door?
Yes, you can now see
What?
a large box.
So it's just a room with a box in it, and that's all I see.
No, it's the outside.
Oh,
this is the door
it's
to the
like outside with a box
Yeah.
behind it, so like a storage space outside.
Effective. It's like, yeah, it's just like leads to a large open area, sort of a garden type setup, and somebody's put a massive box right in front of the door.
I'm gonna shout to everyone. Well, I found a way out if we want to leave this place.
And Octavius and Ezreal, you find that part of the key. That marks 3, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that's 3 parts. Is that the whole key, or are we missing one?
You're missing one, specifically the master bedroom. Only problem is, none of you know how to get to the second floor.
I know we can get to the second floor.
Wait, didn't the journal had it map of the
Yes, it did. None of you bothered to look at it.
I was gonna say we could just punch a hole in the ceiling.
I'd rather follow.
Considering the floors are upwards of 10 feet high each, might not work.
Okay, if I'm 6 foot, we can stack me on top of a shorter person, and I can uppercut the ceiling.
Or if you're 6 foot and I'm a half orc, I could sit on your shoulders and I could punch the ceiling.
High five for high working.
High five.
Okay, Octavius, do you want to do anything else? Or, because if I remember correctly, you have the journal.
I do?
I have the journal.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
the keys.
sorry, I get those mixed up. You have the key. Azrael has the journal. Unless I got that wrong, too.
No, Azriel's got the book, I got the key parts.
Alright, so, yeah. So, what do you want? So, Octavius, you have the key. You want to do anything else in this room before you guys start to try to leave it?
I'll search.
All right.
And let's see. I'm doing investigation. Right. Everyone. With
Roll investigation.
I press the button.
It doesn't show it.
Can you try and roll for me? Oh, my internet just did that stupid thing again. Let's reconnect.
I'll roll. 1 sec.
Welcome to my world.
Oh, quit yelling at me, computer.
You find an assorted 1 rib bone, 2 femurs, a very large great axe that you wouldn't really know how to use, and a few other things.
And the femur. My idea: use them as weapons if all those fail.
All right.
Wait, didn't Kane took the
Would you
back?
prefer me saying? Would you prefer me saying my tummy's got the rumblies that only a human hands can subside? Subside, I mean. Sorry.
Shut up, Kyle. Or Carl.
Yes, so, for the most part, you find that. If anybody else wants to give the bodies a look over to find anything, you can do it too.
When I see him pull out the great axe, I want to go over and look.
It's fairly well made, given the fact that it's kind of a ramshackle construction. It's got a sort of, I'm looking it up. It's got like a large sort of, it looks like it's been constructed from random parts of furniture that have been gathered together in a large axe head. Specifically, it appears to be that the handle is just a bunch of table legs cobbled together, bound in what looks like wrappings to make sure that if there's any like cracks or splintering in the wood, it's kept within it. The axe head is sort of like jammed into the top and wrapped up tightly.
I'm just going to look at him and say, that's not going to come in handy in a fight, just so you know.
Oh, no, it's actually pretty well made. It could probably be used effectively. The person using it is probably just going to be a bit of an idiot.
Can always take it with us.
It looks like it's falling apart to me, though.
True.
You could take it and just get it to a smith and make the handle for it.
I mean, you had that idea. You can do it too if you want.
I prefer finesse weapons than brute strength.
I don't think Cade would appreciate it as a weapon, so I'm just gonna say that's a bad weapon.
Nobody wants it. I'll take it.
Yeah, Asiel, it would be good to notice this thing is that Kane's assessment of it is true, if only because it is massively imbalanced in the weight distribution. The axe head is a bit too big, and effectively the only way you can use it is if you're just wildly flailing it around with no actual concern of how you swing it.
I'm not gonna use it.
No, I know. I'm just pointing out that Kane was actually right that this thing has been poorly made. Effectively, it's meant to be used by somebody who has no actual experience handling martial weapons and is more akin to throwing something around. Octavius, what is your passive?
Really low.
I know that point. Okay.
I was gonna say I was gonna look out for more ghosts.
My passive is 14.
Octavius, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say while they're all doing that, I was gonna look out in case more ghosts show up.
Okay. Roll perception check. You're actually lucky because you just met it. You do see that same ghost from the kitchen, like slow, like you've actually wandered over to the door because Kane was trying to kick down, and you look out for a second and you actually notice a ghostly figure, like just a being of pure glowing white, like seeming to hold like an old rusted out watering can and pouring nothing onto a wilted dead flower. She looks up, notices you, giggles slightly, vanishes, and the can drops.
Nope.
Nope. What?
Not dealing with that.
Dealing with what?
Ghosts?
What's the Scooby-Doo?
Were we just fighting with the ghosts not too long ago? Why are you scared of them now?
No, I'm not scared. I'm not dealing with whatever that crazy crap was. Just freaking watering a dead flower.
I've watered dead things before.
It's okay.
So,
So did you guys want to get out of here, or we still have stuff to do?
I gotta go to the master bedroom.
All right. Which way? Does anybody know which way?
I have no.
Looking at the map.
Okay, so you look at the map. From the layout of the house, it cuts through a few rooms you haven't seen yet. What looks to be a more major dining room, you guess could be the best way to put it. Sort of like a banquet hall, I guess, would be the best way to put it. That apparently didn't have a second floor above it. It was just a 2-story room. So, good news. It doesn't seem that complicated, as a note like attached to the map says should be there's a ladder stashed nearby, so long as they haven't found it.
Does the other door open?
Yes, but it's the hinges are extremely rusted, and it only opens about 5 inches before just stopping entirely. Also, it is a horrendously creaky noise.
Can I look into the next room?
It's a hallway leading back to the house.
Is it just like the one that we came in through, or is it more of like a structure than a...
It's like one of those... Yeah, no, it's more of a actual structure. It's just a long corridor.
Do y'all want to take that?
So light can... Yeah, the only issue you might have is trying to get the door open more.
Do you guys want to take the actual hallway, or should we go back the way we came?
I'll take the actual hallway.
Yeah, let's explore new ground.
Okay, I'm going to start marching down the hallway or trying to get the door open, whichever one.
Roll strength check. Octavius, which way do you want to go?
I guess I'll follow the party.
Don't you know? You never split the party.
I think I opened the door, or at least
Octavius,
broke it.
You're like backing up, then you hear another massive boom as you look over, and Kane has literally just kicked the door off its hinges, and it just falls downwards.
Searching clear.
Octavius, you have a strange urge to pick up the door, but you ignore it since you obviously know you can't pick it up. For the most
All right, guys.
Yeah, so you guys get to move back, and it's actually a nice, well-designed hallway. A few of the windows are cracked or busted open, but for the most part, it's pretty nice. All right, so for the most part, the rest of you guys, do you want to try to look out the windows to see what's going on, or do you just want to move down back to the main house?
Sure,
I'm going to look out a window.
All of you roll perception who are looking out.
I'm actively looking for if anything's trying to come.
So Octavius, you see like small, sort of like globes of light that look like blue flames, sort of like flitting about the scene, almost like fireflies, but in different ways, I guess would be the best way to put
Fucking
it. Sort of like,
will-o-wisps.
yes, that is what. Kane, you see the will-o-wisps and you think, too small to hurt us. Nothing to fear there.
Awesome. I keep rolling really bad perception checks.
It helps.
Can-
Azrael, you notice the will-o'-the-wisps.
Can you try and roll for me? 'Cause
Sure.
Can't see the roll. Lowly.
Of course, it would be Will.
Okay, 16. You notice the will-o'-the-wisps. But
Hey,
aside
look.
from that, you don't see much.
I do want white oak. We have the bench of this white oak in this kitchen. It's for this really cute little breakfast.
So,
yes, the 5, 5.5 feet. Okay, thanks, Clint. White oak.
for the most part,
Clint with the pedestal. I mean,
things are pretty good. You get back to the kitchen eventually. You run into the same problem for a second. Can't, where the door is jammed again. But since you're now on the side where the jam actually happened, and it was somebody had managed to prop up like a piece of wood under the handle.
So I just break the wood and open the door.
You basically took it off. You basically took it and threw it back.
Okay.
Octavius, you narrowly avoid getting hit by a massive piece of wood.
I was gonna try and just break it with my foot, like stepping on it.
Ow. Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. So yeah, no, you break it easily, and you guys get back to the kitchen. Octavius, the key starts to hum like.
I'm sorry, what?
It starts to hum, like sort of vibrate very lightly in your hand.
The keys pieces?
If you've assembled them at this point, yes.
That was a good shot.
Are they acting like a compass so they get hotter as I go?
That depends on the direction you move in. If you're moving back towards the basement entrance, yes, the vibration gets slightly like stronger. If not, then no. At the moment, though, it just seems like it's vibrating.
All right.
So,
I would lead the way, but I don't know which way I'm supposed to be going if somebody wants to point their finger.
Guess I'll
Ema, what are you doing?
Hmm?
I come back and I see a massive backlog of persuasion, perception,
So thank you.
and persuasion checks.
What happened was that like when I was trying to click a perception and it wouldn't pop up.
So you kept pressing it.
Yep. Because I'm a cougar like that.
Press it till it pops up.
I've got to keep slamming the button until it works.
I mean, I have the same mentality. If it doesn't work the first time, click it 5,000 times until it works.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I had 50 Google Chrome tabs open at one time.
Yeah, no, so for the most part, things are all right. You guys want to start making your way to the banquet hall, or?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys pick your way through the debris, passing a few suits of armor along the way, until you manage to get there. The door has been already broken down. There's a few shards of glass on the ground, so you'd be careful to step over them, but for the most part, it's pretty decent. Not too bad. The banquet hall is a large, very, very ostentatious looking room. There's a chandelier. that's hanging on by a slight thread. That wouldn't be the best. But yeah, for the most part, it's hanging on by a slight thread at this point. It's hanging on by like a single piece of the chain at this point that once held. Aside from that, it's pretty good. The table's been cracked in half, and it's sort of like just the two halves are resting on the ground at an angle at the moment. I'm trying to the windows have been barged shut. Like somebody took massive pieces of wood and nailed them over it.
Do I notice anything in this room that's alive or undead?
Not at first glance.
Are there any other doors in the room?
There's a door on. Okay, so effectively you're in like a small sort of U-shaped room, or basically just a half circle. There's a door on the other side. There's a door on the other side of the room. On the other side of the flat wall that you guys just came out of. You can go and try and open that one if you want.
First, I'm gonna say, is there anything anybody wanted to do real quick? Otherwise, I'm gonna go to the next door.
Things.
The book mentioned a ladder. Can I look for that?
Yeah, roll investigation with advantage because you know exactly what you're looking for. Octavius, the key's humming slightly less loudly, I guess would be the best word. It's not vibrating as strong. Who just
All right.
Okay, you just DC'd for some reason. Yeah, so eventually you do find the ladder. It's stashed behind. Somebody, like, clumsily tried to remove one of the panels on the wall and had stashed a ladder inside of it. And you pull it out slowly. Unfortunately, a few of the rungs have been broken. And it's in places where you really couldn't use the ladder as intended unless you're fairly... okay, who keeps DCing?
That was okay.
Yeah, but where also DC'd? I don't know why people are disconnecting all of a sudden. So, you pull out the ladder, there's a few rungs missing. Unfortunately, this kind of makes the ladder inoperable. Octavius, you see a ladder. Where did it come from?
I guess I try to climb the ladder.
Alright, roll an acrobatics check, because this actually takes a bit of time, because, again, the ladder's sort of broken. Makes it kind of hard. All right. You only take 4 points of piercing damage as. Okay, have the damage you took as you accidentally stepped on a bad part of the rung and your foot got stabbed. You only take 2 points of piercing damage as a piece of wood goes into your foot. You pull it out pretty quickly, but it still stings a bit. Okay, so Octavius, you're now on the balcony of the second floor overlooking it. You see there are two doors again. One appears to be in disrepair and probably wouldn't open unless somebody strong enough broke it down. The other still seems to be in working order. The working order one is on your right, and the one that is in disrepair is on your left. The balcony seems stable enough. Parts of the railing top is missing, so now there's jagged pieces. And it appears at certain points somebody has just taken out parts of the balcony railing to be used as something else. And when I say that, it's like somebody managed to twist it enough and like snap off the metal part to make like a twisted point, as that's sort of what's being mimicked on the still remaining ground part that affixed it to the floor.
All right. I guess I'll check the good looking door.
All right. Check the good looking door. And it's a good looking door. It opens, it closes. It looks good. Always nice. A bit in disrepair, but this door is surprisingly one of the first legitimately good things you've seen in the entire building. Huh.
Is it radiating magic?
Not that you can tell. Hey, Eric. We're still gone for some reason. Like, two of the players just dropped. I don't know why.
I hope he's okay.
I do too.
Yeah, sorry. Just got home from work. And all my dogs decided to freak out. What'd I miss?
We're trying to make our way to the master bedroom, and we've walked through some hallways, and I broke open a thing that might be an exit later if we can't get out the door.
Okay. What's that?
We also found a piece to the key.
And we're in a banquet hall at the moment.
I thought we left the banquet hall and we were in like a U-shaped room.
Yeah, it's basically a banquet hall.
Okay.
So, Red, you effectively followed them without saying much.
You're not just gonna have me appear in a corner again?
Nope.
All right.
You're already in the building. I don't need you to.
Well, I was in the building already, and you had me appear in a corner.
True.
Yeah. So, okay, since I don't exactly know what's going on as a player, what entirely have I missed according to the party logic?
They killed things, found stuff, moved. That's a
All right.
I think we're also looking for a ladder and trying to get into the master bedroom, which I forgot who has the book. I think Necro's character has the book that tells us, or the map that tells us where to.
Yeah, but the ladder is broken.
If I remember correctly, and this is just a big if, aren't like some of us tall enough to like create some sort of ladder on our own?
Yeah, one of us is 6 foot. I don't know what the height of my guy is exactly. I probably could check. I probably wrote it down.
Wendy.
Oh, I'm exactly 6 foot.
I remember I made I gotta exit out of the
Balcony's 13. And that's
so-
just the bottom of it. Not assuming.
Well, if you put me and the other half orc together, that's 12 feet. And if we put somebody on top of that, they should be able to reach the balcony, I think.
I'm
Can you check
already on
my
the balcony.
That is going to be a lot of strength checks and dexterity checks, though. So that might not be the best solution.
Wait, Ryan, can you check my spell list real quick?
If somebody has a rope, they could drop it down.
Octavius, do you have a rope?
We still have to get you up there, though.
I'm already up there. I
Octavius-
climbed the ladder.
Octavius is already up there, yeah. He got stabbed in the foot by the ladder to get up there.
Oh, sorry.
I think I actually have a spell that can help here.
I got 60 feet of rope.
What?
Yeah, you can do that.
So here's the problem, though. Is the balcony stable? Any part of it stable enough that I can freaking tie it off so having two half orcs climb it won't rip it off?
Wait a minute.
It's made of metal.
Eric,
Aren't half-
So pretty stable.
Hey, Eric, do you have mending?
I have mending.
1 cubic foot at a time.
I can also do mending so we can get it done a little faster, too.
Yeah, but I think I also took the spell jump, if I remember correctly.
That's only for yourself. What about the rest of us?
No, I can give it to any willing creature.
Yeah, and if he casts it at a
Octavius, if
higher
you
level,
just
he can
wanna-
cast it on more people.
If you just want to tie the rope off, you can do it to any part of the balcony that's still intact. It's all fairly sturdy except for the parts that have been taken off.
Alright, I'll do that. And I'll throw the rope down.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys are like discussing spells,
I'm going to climb up it
Kane.
first.
Yeah, Kane. The rope hits you in the face.
I'm just going to climb up the rope.
While they're climbing up, I'm gonna go through the working door.
So, okay, you guys will start climbing up. All right, that's pretty simple. Each of you roll athletics with advantage because most of you have climbed a rope.
I'm still trying to get to the game, so.
Wait, athletic?
Roll for you. Athletics.
Oh shit! Fuck.
16.
0.
No, you rolled a 4.
Still not great.
Sharon has skipped gym.
Okay, so Kane and Red managed to make it up pretty well. Azrael, you go last. You grab the rope, like pull yourself up one step. It's like you're gonna make it, and then you realize you've only ascended 1 foot, and then your hands give, and you fall flat on your back.
I'm going to look down and say, "Do you need some help, buddy?"
While still laying on the ground. Yes, please.
I'm going to climb back down.
You know what? I'm gonna, if I remember correctly, I took the spell jump, so I'm just gonna go cast the spell jump on him.
Isn't it touch?
Yeah, that's why I said go cast the spell touch on him. Jump
I mean,
on
I'm
him.
already climbing down to help him.
Yeah. So both of you now get down again.
While this insanity is going on, I'm gonna go through the door.
All right, you're in a really nice hallway. Roll perception.
Yeah, jump. You touch a creature and a creature jump distance and tripled until the spell ends.
And do I notice Dark Grave's character going through the hallway instead of joining us?
You're down the rope. You don't see anything.
Okay.
You notice there was a distinct lack of Bard Boy up there when you finally pick him up. When you pick up at when you pick up Noodle Boy and climb back up one-handed, which you do pretty easily.
Cool. I'm gonna go through the door. Sorry.
I got a 19 perception.
So, Azrael, you have been carried up by an orc. Red, you used jump, and, well, now you just jumped up. Darkgrave. Yeah, also your strength determines. Azrael's strength isn't that great to begin with.
Well, no matter how far I can jump, it's tripled.
Yeah. He's got a -3 modifier to strength, though.
It shouldn't be that hard with tripled strength, with tripled jump, tripled, whatever, to reach the top balcony.
What he's saying is that how far you can jump is based on how strong you are. So with his strength modifier being -3, he's can't really jump straight up for, what was it, 13 feet to the bottom of the thing. So like maybe 16 feet to the actual balcony.
The idea was for one of us to give him a hand up from there.
Yeah, well, somebody already carried him up anyways. When you two finally do get back up to the top of the balcony, you notice a distinct lack of Bard Boy. Bard Boy.
I thought we let him die.
Trying the door, it's locked.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, phone call.
No problem. So Octavius, did you roll perception?
I did.
You close the door. You immediately realize it's a bad idea. Turn back. There's no door.
Oh, I'm in it right now.
As soon as I notice that he's not
No.
at the balcony, I'm going in and like actively trying to figure out where he went. I'm assuming there's only one door, right?
There's 2 doors. One of them's locked. The other is kind of in disrepair.
I'm gonna try the disrepair one.
All right. Roll strength just to force it.
$13. I got a 13.
All right. You managed to kick open one part of the door. It's a double door. So you like go in and immediately turn right and are met with a wall. Huh.
There's nothing else in the room?
No, it's like a hallway. You're actually at the top of that main staircase going back down to the foyer. But this wall is new.
Can I touch the wall real quick? Just like give it a tap, make sure it's actually there.
It feels real enough.
I'm rolling perception real quick.
All right, roll perception. It's a wall. It's always been there. You don't know why anybody else is questioning it.
You know what you do when you have a wall?
What?
You blow it up.
I don't do that. Do you do that?
I have gunpowder, so yeah, I can do that.
Sure. I'm gonna step back onto the balcony and who was the person who couldn't climb?
That would be me.
I'm just gonna like try and shield you with my body and be like, all right, you can try that now.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put some gunpowder from my shot stuff because I'm guessing I still use gunpowder to fire guns. That's just magic. It's what ignites it. Actually, we never actually gone over officially how my gun fires.
Doesn't it channel your magic through it?
It
If you-
does, but it's still a gun. You still need
If you're-
something.
If you're an artificer, I think the official lore for it is to build the gun, you have to use enchantments because you don't have like the things that make a gun shoot a bullet, but you still use like the components to the gun, so like gunpowder, the pin that hits the bullet to make it eject and stuff like that.
Firing pin, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like put down a line of gunpowder, a big enough stack of gunpowder to create a hole in the wall.
Okay, you try and put it onto the wall, it falls off because this is gunpowder.
No, like on a pile on the ground.
Okay.
And then make a trail.
Why make a trail?
So you don't have to light it in front of your face, but Kate would not say that.
No, I'm gonna go back and fire at it.
Yeah.
So I'll roll to hit. Or do you want me to roll to hit?
Roll just a general D20.
All right. The rolls are not with me today.
Oof.
You do that, and now there's a hole in the floor right in front of the doorway, and the wall's perfectly fine. Cutting back to Octavius, you hear a slight and sort of the floor shakes slightly, but roll a wisdom save.
Please let that be the one of the few things he's good with. Wait, isn't that one
Oh.
You feel a voice calling you forward, and for some reason it sounds really nice. Effectively, you are charmed.
All right.
She's gonna hang out here for a while.
He's doomed. Can I shoot a couple of Eldritch blasts towards the door?
Wait, how do you have Eldritch Blast?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm worrying about it now. That doesn't help me.
Okay, so
Ready for a while to get settled, girls. So I really hope you guys enjoy your.
So, Octavius, you're here walking towards what you think is the master bedroom. And for the most part, the house looks nice. Why is it? No, the voice sounds nice. You're just going to keep moving forward. The rest of you managed to slowly eke your way around the hole. Azrael, you were still on the balcony when all this happened. All you heard was a boom and a bright light, and then part of the floor caved in.
Oh, I thought I was with them.
Oh, you were? Okay, well, you all managed to get back there. You're now faced with a locked door. Also, you hear footsteps moving away from the door.
Reach. Maybe. What? That. As a bonus action, you can attempt to kick the door open. Just really kick the door open. What? You know what? If you're gonna do that, Necro, you can do that.
I think somebody would benefit from that. Do we still have those lock picking? Do we still have those lock picks?
We gave him back to Ross.
I am going to do an Arcana check. It just helps moving it around and everything.
Okay, but something arcane has locked the door. But aside from that, the door is normal. Necro, do you want to try to breach and clear?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that was more of a trying to understand the little magic that's moving the house around. Because the house is moving.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Nothing has moved. Everything's the same layout it's always been.
A door that led somewhere else now led to from a balcony led to a staircase.
No, that's the layout of the house.
Oh. Okay.
It might be creating objects, but it's not moving things.
Creating walls or whatever. It's changing it another way. That can be smart.
Okay, so the way it worked was when you guys first entered the house, you were in a foyer, and if you guys remember, there was a large staircase going up. The door you guys came out of, the one that Kane kicked one of the doors in, was effectively on the hallway that went down, that emptied into that staircase going down to the main foyer.
Okay, I was confused about that for a second. Sorry.
No problem. But yeah, so Octavius, you're now in front of a rather ornate door. Do any of you want to try to kick down the locked door?
What you say, it's locked by magic. Can I surmise what exactly the magic is, in a way?
Roll another Arcana check.
You got a nat 20 before.
You should have asked then.
I can't use it for myself, because this could be useful somewhere later down the line for me. More or less, I'm just trying to figure out how to do it for myself.
It's some kind of magic only available to necrotic beings, ghosts, spirits, the like.
Is there any way I can mimic it in some way?
Probably not. Or if you could, you need a lot more research and power.
All right.
Is it just the lock itself or the entire door?
Is it just the lock itself or the entire door that's actually magical? So, how's everyone's day been? There are multiple different ideas I had to try to add some interesting effects to the my thunder cannon.
Huh. Well, Kane, do you have any ideas on how to open the door?
So wait, was the door or the lock magic?
The lock's magic. The door is completely normal.
Break down the door then. Can I just shoot off several rounds of Eldritch Blast?
Okay. You destroy the door. Octavius, some blast registers at the very edge of your peripherals and something hits your face. Roll a wisdom save. You shake your head blearily as you notice you're standing in a ruined hallway. You look down and you notice the entire place has been disheveled. What? You look forward and see what looks like a tendril slowly trying to wrap itself around your ankle.
I back away from the tendril.
Oh, come on. It's probably just to have a little fun with you.
All right.
Since, do any of us see this tendril or just...
As you burst into the room, nope.
Do we see Octavius?
Yes, you see Octavius like backing up panicked into the opposite wall, into the wall of the hallway behind him.
Are there
Can
any
I walk
open
up to
doors?
him? Go ahead, Em.
Are there any open doors?
There's the open door that Octavius is in front of.
I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy and just slam it closed.
Okay, that would work if there was a door.
I said open doors, not doorways.
From your point of view, it was an open door. You didn't know there was a door there. There wasn't a door there.
I think I'd be able to tell if there was or was not a door there.
It opens inwards.
Okay.
From your point, unless you were like right next to him, no, you would not have seen there was a door.
Can I walk up to him?
You can walk up to Octavius. Octavius, you see the big orc in armor. For a moment, she looks like she has some sort of black liquid dripping from her armor. You shake your head real quick and it's gone.
Hey, man, you okay?
I haven't had enough to drink to deal with this.
Hey, Barty boy. I'm gonna say that as I walk up. I'm consciously aware you probably haven't had enough to drink to deal with me yet either. Have you?
I look in the doorway. Is the tentacle still there?
No.
I assume this is just a door to the room.
Sorry, could you repeat? You cut out there for a second for me. Octavius.
I was saying, can I see into the room?
Oh, yeah, no. It's a pretty disheveled and ruined master bedroom. There's a large canopy bed, a few dressers, some ungodly pile of something in the corner. You know, standards fare.
Can I examine the undescriptive pile of God knows what?
Sure, you got to get close to it. And as you do, you notice it smells god-awful.
Take out my pistol and aim at it. And wait until Octavius...
It's a freaking corpse, isn't it?
Honestly, hard to tell.
So, I'm not much for burning things down. No, I actually am. I burned down a monastery.
Ken, you hear that and kind of like double take for a second, like, wait, what?
What did he say?
He said he burned down a monastery.
It was full of cultists, don't worry.
Right. I'm just gonna like squint at him.
Yeah, you give him the side eye.
Hey, I've never... Okay, I can't say I've never burned down a monastery full of priest.
Kane's just gonna get quiet and just stare at him,
They deserve
studying
it.
him.
Disapprove it.
Basically.
They were, well, for lack of a better term, they were crazy people sacrificing tieflings to a god.
Right.
I'm gonna pull out the translucent header I got. This is how I got that. That's how I got this.
Another time. Still in danger here, you know.
Octavius, do you actually touch it, or are you just like poking it with a stick?
I'll poke it with my sword.
It like you poke it, and like a small bubble that you hadn't seen before has popped, releasing this god awful stench into your face. Roll a con save.
– 1.
Oh no!
You immediately turn around, doubling over and puking all over the.
I stop my staring contest and walk over and see if he's all right.
You take 5 points of poison damage as it immediately enters your system and forces you to empty the entirety of your stomach contents.
Joke's on them. I drank a lot last night.
Well, again, you're instead like puking up this brackish, black-like liquid.
Drag him out.
Finally end. Yeah, and when you finally end, you don't feel that good.
What the fuck's wrong with this place?
Kane, are you like dragging him away from the pile of nondescript liquid he just spewed from his body?
That depends. Can I not touch it while I do so?
Oh yeah, no, you don't have to.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take him away from the nastiness.
Yeah, no, I guess close enough. I'm gonna cast Cure Moon on him. Using one of my spell slots. So
okay, you heal for 13. Octavius, you heal 13 points of health.
Were you even missing any health?
Yes, I was. That
he
just
was.
filled me
He
up.
took. Yeah, he took
cool.
7 points of damage so far, if I remember counting correctly.
I'm gonna do
I
it
was
like a
at
full, but this is
15 at
smack
the
on the
start of the
back.
session.
Okay, so for the most part, the bubble sort of like deflates now, and as like the rest of you start smelling the gas. Luckily, it's not as concentrated, so none of you need to. So it doesn't proc a saving throw from any of you either. Still. God.
I feel like we should probably burn the body.
We gotta search for let's search for the damn room for the key first.
Oh well, this thing is gonna be. I get the feeling this thing will become a problem later if we don't.
Do I get the sense that if I hit my weapon with this thing, it'll hurt my weapon based off of his sword touching?
So, yeah. The body sort of like shudders for a few moments, though that probably is all the compressed gas in its system kind of leaving.
I was trying to ask if I could tell by looking at Octavius's weapon if it would hurt my weapon to try and beat this thing up with it.
No, it wouldn't. His weapon seems perfectly fine, aside from being covered in a slight layer of black ooze.
Aww, that's Gabby sounds so cute.
Is there any cloth, any kind of cloth around?
There's the bed sheets.
I'll rip them up. Try making myself like a mask tight enough that no air can get through, and I'll try looking at the corpse.
Aren't
Okay,
you always wearing a mask?
No, the mask I'm wearing right now, it's similar to the Phantom of the Opera, that kind of half mask. But I'm trying to get a mask that covers the entire mouthpiece.
Yeah, you can do that. And for the most part, yes, you see a few. You kind of start trying to poke the body before you realize it's a bit too quick that a bit just fast enough to like dodge that Kane like trumps over, brings his mace up, and slams it into the body, causing a squall of gore to just spurt out and cover the walls.
That was so unnecessary.
Octavius, the thing that harmed you has been destroyed.
Was that me that did that?
Yeah, because you hit it. This thing's
okay, just making sure nobody else hit it.
This thing's a stationary pile of goo and liquefied meat stuff. What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. I just wanted to get rid of it.
I'd say
okay.
The proper thing and burn.
I don't have access to fire.
Azrael, you can go back to searching the body again. It's kind of been flattened out.
With a large sigh and with a somewhat disgusted look, I'll rummage through the corpse.
All right. Are you trying to find anything in it, or are you just poking at it to see what happens?
Specifically, I'm trying to look if the body carried the other piece of the key.
Roll investigation.
Either that or anything else of value.
Yeah, roll investigation.
I'm gonna kind of say unconsciously in Infernal, like, oh god. How many times have I done this before? When I say have I done this before, switching back to common. More making a comment about what Azrael's doing, like shifting through dead bodies for things.
This could have been easier if it wasn't exploded.
Anyways, Octavius, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Good, you're not dead yet.
Nope. Not yet. I kind of go over to like the dresser, try to go through that.
You're not going to find any genius in there, dude.
I just flip them off and walk away.
All right.
So I'm guessing I made a mess of myself without finding anything worth.
You found a coin buried deep in its sternum. You kind of make like a wet. Octavius, you're like, if you said you're fine, and then you immediately look back up and see Azrael like reach his hand back and shove it right into it, you immediately go back to almost puking again. But yeah, you find a small coin of iron. Weird. The sides of an iron. It's like wrought black iron. It was somewhere where you can guess in the chest cavity?
Wow.
It isn't part of the key, but it's weird.
Get another piece of rag, clean it up, any kind of writing, ruins, imaging, and a sort of thing. Okay.
But yeah, no. So you do find that. You don't find the key piece. If anybody else wants to give a crack at it, just roll investigation.
Asking if there's any markings on the freaking key piece.
Sorry, no. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something. No, there's no markings. At least that you can tell. Both sides have been smoothed down to the point that it's just like a bump on either side. Octavius.
Yeah, that was me.
You find the piece of the key embedded in the wall. Apparently, it was shot out of the body when Kane decided to smash it.
Thank you, Kane.
So I take the last piece of key and I try to put all the pieces together. Do they magically fuse?
It is cobbled together now. It's sort of now humming. Like you're gonna have to hold it together, but it's humming a lot stronger now.
Wait. Would magic work on it?
The key?
Yeah.
Mending.
Mending.
Okay, you touch the key. There's a lot of breaks on it. There's the break between.
If the key is magic, it can't be restored.
Also, if it's less than 1 cubic foot, then the whole thing would just fix automatically.
Yeah, so for the most part, the key kind of like fuses slightly back together in shape before the pieces vibrate fast enough that they sort of just fall apart again. They sort of just fall apart again. Octavius, you gotta reassemble.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stand right outside this door, catch my breath. If you guys want to search for anything else more useful, I'll be hyperventilating in that corner.
I'm just going to kind of stand guard with him as he leaves the room.
So, not Necro, sorry. So, Necrophiliac, do you think we're going to find anything else in here, or?
Come again?
I messed up. I said Necro instead of Azrael or Noctis, so it just moved into a joke. Necrophiliac. Do you think we're going to find anything else in here, or do you think we should move on?
Why exactly do you call me that?
Slip of the tongue. And you were fondling the body. So.
Well, if the corpse wasn't smashed, I would have probably found the key piece in there.
Well, you found something else, which could possibly be useful for a spell component or something later down the line.
Possibly.
Yeah, so.
Let's give this room one look over before we head out.
All right, roll general investigation.
Investigation is one of those things I'm kind of good at.
You don't find anything.
Oh, I got it in my eye.
Christopher, you find a few pieces of silverware, specifically an old, very stained knight.
Just for the sake of safety and everything, I'm gonna use the spell detect magic on it.
Okay.
Just to make sure there are no spell magic or anything on it.
There isn't anything there.
Okay, good. Putting it in my bag of holding and walking out.
All right.
Heading out as well.
So.
I searched for someone who really knew my car. I found the expert at Safely Auto Glass.
What do you got? How do you guys want to proceed?
Let's go find where this key goes.
Which is the basement.
Yep.
Should we?
Do you want to do anything before we leave the room?
You said Kane, right?
Yes.
No, I was just standing with Octavius and making sure that he wasn't gonna pass out or anything.
All right, Octavius, you're getting a nice big brotherly hug from Kane.
I'm not
Okay.
hugging him or touching him. I'm just standing next to him.
Okay, sorry, I misinterpreted that. Yeah, no, you're just kind of
No
like
worries.
Kane's just sort of kneeling, doing like that half crouch thing where it's like his knees are bent forward and his hands are on the knee, and he's just kind of looking down at you.
The presence is comforting.
Good to know. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, so you all leave the room, I'm assuming?
Before I leave the room, I make sure the body is like good to ignite, and then light it up on fire.
All right.
You
Wait, so you're burning the body?
Huh?
You can't burn sludge.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
you can try.
Well,
I would like to point out that might not be the smartest idea in an all-wood house.
Well, honestly, I'm going to make sure that it's on something that's not going to catch fire.
Which is
Okay.
everything in this goddamn house.
everything's made out of wood. Probably gonna smoke us out too.
Well, if I can, let me read over the spelltometer real quick, because I think I can put out a fire if I need to, or we put out the brief fire I set because it was sludge.
I think it's only for small fires, not
You cause flames.
burn down the entire house.
I must tremor in the ground. You create a sound. No, I can't put it up. I can cause it to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color. So, still better to make sure we burn everything that can possibly come back to life.
Okay, how do you want to go about burning it in a room that looks entirely too flammable?
With gunpowder. Because that hasn't been so far.
We will not use fire. We get rid of the haunting, we get rid of all the threats. Let's go.
What if a necromancer decides to try to come along and screw with us? What if a priest decides to come along and screw with us? What if a man up top my list decides to come back and try to kill me
Can we
again?
just knock him out and drag him?
I mean, it's more of I've encountered way too much shit not to be careful around dead bodies.
You're not dealing with a dead body. You're dealing with a pile of sludge.
I'm gonna
That
walk
was
over to
smashed
the
with a
thing,
hammer.
and I'm gonna cast Divine Favor on my weapon, and I'm just gonna like tap it, so it's not really gonna do any damage, but he'll see something
I'm
like
gonna hold up
glowy
like, no.
touch a dead body.
Wait, say that again.
I cast a spell on my weapon to give it radiant damage, and then I touch the dead body.
Okay. There is now a glowy stick of metal poking out of a dead body.
And then I walk away and say, "It's fine, let's go."
All right. It'd be dead as soon as it tried to rise anyways, but radiant. And that's one good thing about having some priesty people. They can do radiant damage, and I can't. And yes, I'm making a joke about breaking the fourth wall.
Nope. We're walking.
Yeah, I'm walking away. Yeah.
We're walking, we're climbing down the rope, we're going down the stairs.
Yeah. So how do you guys want to get back to the first floor again?
Well, we have
Because
we can go down.
yeah, there is a rope. Wait. There was a rope. It's been cut.
Son of a bitch.
And here I was gonna say,
So the ends have been burned to sort of like prevent fraying again.
Well, consider it then.
So now you have 5 feet of rope tied to the balcony and a pile of 55 feet of rope on the ground.
Son of a bitch.
And on
I'm
the
just
upside,
gonna
you got
bust
2
out
ropes.
some rope.
Yeah, you got 2 ropes.
do you guys want?
Consider it then. Let's not lie.
Isn't there
No, I
another?
don't.
go through, or at least see.
There's also, what, is the ladder removed too?
Isn't that like a stairway down?
That blew up.
No, I blew up a small
No,
patch in front of the wall.
it's just gone. The middle of the staircase is a pit to death.
Or at least the basement.
That too. But at this height, be death for most of us. Except for maybe the paladin.
Or I could just jump the stairs.
Feather fall.
You're not making that jump, I don't think.
Has it been a minute past since like I first cast the jump spell?
Oh, it's been a minute.
Guys, I already said I was tying a rope so we could climb down.
You did?
Yeah, there's a rope. You can climb down it. Necro, your character was the one that couldn't climb, right?
Yep.
I'm putting you on my back like a piggyback style and just saying, hold.
I could slide down. I can't climb up. But before we go down, can I investigate the other door? The one on the left?
The one they blew those over and caused the bomb to go off and cause a pit to be right in front of it?
Yes.
Wait, I thought that was the door heading towards activity.
No, it was not.
That was the other door.
I was filling up a wall, not a door.
The floor cave in.
I know, I was trying to blow up a wall, not a door.
We're not saying you tried to blow up the door. The door was
Okay,
broken into, and then
heard-
you blew up the floor, is what we said.
Okay. I was getting confused. I'm sorry. I've had a long day at work.
Fine, I slide down.
Sorry, guys, I got distracted. Did everybody climb down?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
I collect my 55 pieces of rope.
And it's just 55 feet of rope.
I know.
They weren't
Do you
jerks
want to
about
get
it.
the 5 feet of rope that's still up top?
No. It's worthless.
Or I can mend it. Mending is a cantrip.
Looking outside, you realize it's night again.
God, what is going on with time in this crazy house?
I don't know.
Let's take a rest. Restore a spell slot I used on you.
Should we go back to that one room we know is safe?
Aren't we outside?
No, we're
No,
not.
you're inside. You're in a
The
banquet
balcony
hall.
is inward.
Oh crap! Yeah, let's
Think
go back to one room
stupidly
we know
rich
is safe.
person mansion has a balcony on the inside for no damn reason.
Overlooking a massive banquet hall so they can look down at the poor people while they eat.
But they don't allow poor people in here.
Who are the servants then?
No, that would be for greeting the guest, especially if you have a stairway going down. In order to make an entrance, you want to be higher up so everyone has to look at you before you go down and greet them. Has anyone seen the Great Gatsby?
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Okay, has anyone had to read the Great Gatsby?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I had to read it for school.
Wow.
I've freaking seen Gone with the Wind, so I know what a grand staircase is.
I had to read Great Gatsby for school, and one of the things I picked up from like the movie that was released with Leonardo DiCaprio, is that's a great way to make an entrance with people. Also, calling everyone old sports teams makes them think you're rich. Anyways, walking away from my computer to check on something in another room, so
And we're going down the rope, and we're going down the staircase.
You're all down there. There is no staircase.
No.
Okay, you guys are going back to the basement?
Oh, wait, no, you said it was nighttime, so...
Yeah, no. Well, no, you guys can go to the basement if you want.
We're going to the area to rest. We're going somewhere to rest real quick so I can restore spell slots I spent.
So I guess we'll go back to that place we went to sleep the first time.
Yeah, that small study. Nice room. Looks like somebody trashed it, but it still feels safe. And what I mean by trash is it looks like somebody threw a lot of books on the ground and even destroyed a few of them.
Ooh, spooky poltergeist action.
I think I know who did that.
More like somebody was belligerent and decided to start throwing things. But
Octavius, do you have any alcohol by any chance?
That is a beautiful question. Let me see.
Roll a d20, Octavius. Let's see if you got anything or if you've ran dry. You have tons of alcohol. Seriously, where are you keeping this stuff?
So actually tell me how much alcohol I have, because I don't have any in my equipment.
Okay, so you have 2 flasks of a mystery liquid that you got sold by some random goblin on the streets. You have a single bottle of a rather nice malt scotch, single malt scotch, a bottle of red wine, 2 bottles of something that an orc said will get you messed up, a small portable cask of rum, and one of those gourds of honeyed mead. You seriously don't know how you're carrying all of this.
Remind me to make you a bag of holding later.
Here, you can have one of the. I'll give him one of the flasks. I got this from a goblin.
I'm gonna wave my hand. Sorry, don't drink.
Then why did you ask?
For yourself.
Bottoms up. I swig some of the goblin flask.
I wouldn't think that would be a good idea right now.
We're going to sleep. I don't care.
In a haunted house.
Once again, I don't care. Liquid courage, my friend, and I shake the flask in him.
And it could mean your death.
Again, I'm not arguing with you anymore. I'm tired.
We all are.
So what's the goblin shit taste like?
Do you actually want to uncork it and drink?
Yes.
Okay, because like swishing through the bottle, you see like a few round objects floating in it. Not small enough to go through the neck, but...
Can I tell what they are?
No, the bottle's too dark. You drink. Oh, God, that stuff burns. It feels like somebody distilled orc piss. Roll a con save with advantage.
Considering the goblins, they might as well just have done that.
Wow.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go do some dishes real quick.
All right, no problem. So
Kane is hanging out with
yes.
Necro's character, by the way.
All right. Octavius, you managed to choke down the stuff. And it's at this point you notice it looks like a small orb, the thing, because you're holding the bottle and it seems that the sphere is like perfectly shaped to clog up the hole or to clog up the neck. And looking at it, it looks like it's a wooden cork of some kind.
Chug, 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 chug.
No, he's just drinking just enough to get that vomit out of his face.
Okay, well, the vomit's out of your taste buds. You can't really feel your taste buds.
You think you really got the vomit out, or you need to drink a little more to get it rest out?
Why don't you take a swig if you feel so confident?
No, I have a strict no drinking thing. I found with other hunters, they tend to make mistakes when they drink. So I kind of abstained from it.
So, yeah, for the most part, Octavius, you managed to choke it down. You can't feel your taste buds. That feels kind of weird. So Red, what did you want to do?
Well, other than general maintenance on my weapon.
All right, you do that. Roll a d20. This is just to see how much. This is just to see if there's any wear and tear.
What do you need me to roll?
That would just be a d20, and I think you have a Tinker's kit.
How about smithing? Actually, no, I should have a Tinker's kit. But that's smithing tools, because that's what it's called for.
Yeah, just roll smithing tools. There's not much. You just require a few materials. Mark off about 5 gold, as that's how much you need.
All right, I'm down to 1 gold. I'm then going to take that magic sword I got. I'm not going to take out the, unsheath it. I'm just going to start examining the curse of it.
The Ivy Curse Sword?
Yeah. Figuring out if I can find some way to equip it to something else. Like a bullet. Because imagine not being able to take out a bullet until you kill someone with it. Is that a bad idea or a good idea for me to start researching this weapon I have?
I'm not gonna say. That's up to you to decide.
I don't know. I figure it'd be a good idea to have some sort of way to enchant the bullets that come out of my weapon, because they're just plain lead bullets.
All right.
Do you want me to roll Arcana or something, or
roll Arcana to start constructing it? You make good progress. You aren't able to finish it in one day, but for the most part. So, what do you want to do next? Or actually, give me a moment. I need to go do something real quick. I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, go all right. You want to call break? All right. Anywho.
Hey Eric, what exactly does that weapon do of yours? That sword?
The sword?
Yeah.
It's just a basic sword, but
let's call for a short break because Mark had to leave, and we'll just wait for him to.
Brian, what exactly does the sword do aside from embed into my arm?
Sorry, which sword was this again?
You cursed Ivy sword, as I'm going to call it.
Oh, it has a reach of about 10 feet.
That. Well, I'm not really going for the reach of 10 feet. I'm going for the unable to take the weapon, to let go of the weapon until you kill someone. I want to take take the fact that a bullet can't be removed out of someone's arm. Like, it's pretty much ivied there.
Okay.
And put that into the
That's gonna take a lot of work.
I know, that's why I'm starting research on it while I have a little downtime. The idea is to just be able to have some sort of something to, with every magical item I get, have something that I could pretty much swap in, like a lens or a barrel exchange I can do. Is that
Hey, Necro. Yeah, it's feasible. It's just going to be very goddamn complex.
Yeah, that's one.
And it'd also be an extremely volatile thing.
That's why the idea is to actually have it so where I can take the barrel off and exchange it where I need it to.
All right. Well, hey, Kane.
Hey.
You good? You sound a bit out of breath.
Yeah, I just tried to hurry and did the dishes is all.
Aw.
I'm going to go. I'm going to keep my phone on me, but I'm going to go make food, so go on mute for a little bit.
All right. So, for the most part, Octavius is sampling the many. Hey. Wow, people just keep leaving and coming back one after the other. Okay.
Well, you left.
What? I only left for a second to go plug something in. Regardless, moving on. Who takes first watch? Because you guys are kind of hunkered down in the room for the night, unless you want to root through anything that might have been exposed via whatever, through the temper tantrum and through things everywhere.
Yeah, I'll look through the bookshelves.
Roll investigation. Cain and Azriel, you two are sort of just... you like searching through the exposed bookshelf and find a small exposed, or a small like raised bump in the wood. It's fairly noticeable. Pushing it slightly. Yeah, you hear this, and as a small trap door under the desk like flips open, there is a small chest inside.
I check it for traps.
Roll another investigation. It looks good.
Alright. I try to open the chest.
You do. There was a lock, but it rusted to the point where you just sort of open it and the lock, and part of the lock just opening it.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go back out there. Give me a second.
You find a you find like a rolled up piece of parchment with a cloth strip and a wax seal on it, and also a small, well-worn journal, leather-bound, similar to the one Azriel has.
I take the scroll, put that in my pocket for right now, and I open the journal.
You try, but it's locked.
Oh, it's got a padlock?
Yeah. Weird. You look around,
is the scroll sealed with like wax?
No, the silk band that's sort of wrapped around it pretty tightly, that's sealed with the wax. The scroll itself doesn't have any of the wax touching it.
So I could potentially remove the scroll without breaking the wax.
It'd be a bit of a finesse to do it, but yeah.
I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna try to get the lock off the journal.
All right, roll sleight of hand because this is more deafness of finger. You manage to eventually open the lock and get the book open, and what the hell? It's written in something you have no idea what the fuck it is. It's a language you don't really understand.
Okay, I showed this to Noctis. Can you read this?
Azrael, you're being shown a book.
Can I actually read it?
Nope.
Come again?
No, you can't.
Can we
Is
try?
Is it in an actual language or is it just rambling?
It's a cipher. It's encrypted.
Oh, fuck.
Oh. Let's try opening the other journal I have that's still locked.
All right, roll sleight of hand.
Get away from keyboard.
All right, I'm back.
All right. You guys are mostly settling down. Octavius is fiddling over a journal.
What was it, sleight of hand?
Yeah, sleight of hand. Roll it.
Well, I was here the entire time. I heard. I just wasn't. I just waited. So
you actually break a small, like a very thin iron pick inside it, but luckily managed to like pull the pieces out before anything gets lodged.
Where's our thief when we need him?
I will be right back.
So, how does the lock on his journal look like?
Exact same as yours.
Could I try to replicate what I did on the other one with his to see if it was locked by the same key?
Yeah, roll sleight of hand with advantage because you're trying it with a much more refined.
Son of a bitch!
The papusa,
Nope.
not chicken. Huh.
The key
Okay.
pieces wouldn't be resonating with this lock too, would they?
Nope.
Sorry, guys, had a little family spat.
All right.
Okay, enough subtlety. Can we just rip the lock off and just... without damaging the interior pages?
No, but seriously,
I mean-
where is our thief? I have just lost them.
Yeah, so this other journal remains closed. You guys want to start setting up shifts for sleep tonight?
I was planning to take first shift.
All right. Kane offers first shift taking.
All right, I guess I'll take second shift.
All right. Your shift passes without mention until you notice a mirror has been placed in the room that none of you actually noticed. You've seen in the reflection the bodies of all your companions sleeping, but you also see what looks like shadowy figures standing over them. They look like people in fine clothing, but their faces and features are blurred. it's weird. Aside from that, like you blink and all the shadowy figures are gone. Well, your watch ends without much incident. Red, you're
All right. Well, perception.
Yep.
Next level up, I am putting.
You don't notice much. You don't even notice the mirror. Who takes third?
I'll take third.
All right. So, roll perception. You do notice the mirror. You notice the shadowy figures reappear once again. And you notice they're not over you. One approaches, but something lashes out from you and scares it off. You blink and the mirror's gone. You hear the faint sound of something shattering in the distance. You feel tired. Roll a con save. You do not gain a level of fatigue.
Did he just cut out?
No, was looking through something. But yeah, no. You're fine. You're mostly fine. Quote unquote morning comes and you all awaken. Octavius, there's a mirror shard in your hand. It's not cutting you or anything, but it's there. It's there. So looking in it, you see yourself. A bit older, maybe. Then again, maybe all this time adventuring has started to take a toll on you. Wow, that's a bit depressing to think about, but no matter. You feel good. Most of you feel rested. The books are all back and where they should be. Weird.
Well, we're dealing with supernatural plates, so
So, where do you guys want to go?
Since he's technically here, can we have Ross pick the lock?
Sure.
Technically, Ross isn't with us. He officially left. And
Technically,
left
his
us in the
character is
dust,
still
and we never
trapped
saw
in this
him.
mansion with us.
His character's still trapped here, so one of you roll
We don't know
persuasion
where
check
he
to see. No, he's been sticking around. He's been lurking.
I shall try to persuade the savage snake.
He's bored. Might as well.
Give him a silver. Never mind.
Nope. Nope. You can't take back the silver.
He offered a silver to get it open. He really felt at his job.
The lock's open. He swipes the silver from your hand.
Oh, sure, he gets in that 20 when money's on the line. So can we cross-reference the journals? Are they both encoded?
Yeah. So you're starting to flip through the journal?
Yep.
It's a series of... It's like a large column sheet, effectively. Lines have been drawn, and there's like a letter, and then another letter, a letter, and another letter. You realize this is a cipher. Or a key.
Oh, shit.
It's going to take a while to decode the entire journal, but you have both halves. If you want to waste a day away on getting this entire thing sort it out, you can.
I feel like that might be important for whatever's lying in the basement.
So, do you want to try to convince them to stick around so that you guys can do it?
Can I just do the last page?
Sure. The last page, entry 581. I fear one of my own has become insubordinate. They move against me to steal what I have worked towards. The problem will be rectified. The research is stored. The results have been made. I walk into the next phase with no regrets, no misgivings. I suppose at this point it would be a bit late for any of those. Whatever God watches over me as I do this, I only hope. I do not beg forgiveness. I only hope they understand my motive. The page is covered in. The page has blood at the lower corners of it. And that's the end. Flipping through the journal entries, looking at the numbers were the only thing that weren't encrypted. The earliest journal entry appears to be 540, so this is probably an older. So there's likely more journals like this scattered throughout that. There's likely more journals stashed somewhere, or maybe they got burned. You don't know.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
So I guess their research is in the basement. What haven't we gotten ourselves into?
Hey Noctis, you're good at handling things very delicately, yeah?
Depends on the situation.
Can you hold onto that this ribbon so I can get this scroll out without breaking that wax?
I don't see the problem with breaking the wax.
Otherwise, it won't be official.
First off, why don't we make sure it's not magical?
Good point.
Like the cast detect magic on it.
There's no magic.
So we should just open it?
Just open it. Don't worry about the seal.
Come on.
Okay. Actually, can I look at the seal?
Sure.
It bears it's definitely a noble house's seal. You know that. Which noble house? Oh. You don't know.
I would like Noctis's help to freaking take the scroll out without breaking the seal.
Just break the seal. All right, Octavius.
Yeah, help him out.
Would this be sleight of hand with advantage now?
I'm going to say, oh my god, who cares about the seal? They're probably long since dead.
Who knows what has importance to it?
Brian?
Yeah?
With Toki's help, can I get advantage on trying to remove the scroll without breaking the seal?
Wait, Toki's here.
You mean Necro?
Yes, sorry.
Yes, with Necro's help, roll sleight of hand with advantage. Oh, you're lucky the silk isn't that good. You at a certain point realize if you just stick something solid enough between the silk and the parchment, you can just rip the silk, which you do. You can't get it off any other way. That's the only way you can do it without breaking the seal. For the most you unfurl it, and there's actually two parchments inside of it. One sort of falls out as you unfurl the first. The first parchment is an official summons for the magistrate court, calling for one Duke okay, the name's a bit smudged, to answer for potential crimes involving the practice and study of the forbidden art of necromancy. The charges also include the murder and mutilation of his wife, the Duchess, the imprisonment and holding of his daughter, the abuse and experimentation upon servants, the corruption of his lands, the dereliction of duty, and rumors of possible insurrection and treason against the council.
Is he reading this out loud or in his head?
Octavius, are you reading this out loud for them?
I will be reading that out loud, yeah.
Yeah, so you read that. There's also the second piece that's effectively resting on your foot at the moment.
I bend down and pick it up.
It's the deed to the house.
Hey!
Let's keep that.
I sneak that one over to Noctis. I believe you were looking for this.
I'll take it.
God, I don't know why I keep messing you guys up in my head.
Yeah, it's a noble. It's kind of obvious to think he would have been the one that wanted more land.
Hey, I could go for land.
And I'm gonna be the one dealing with the legal problems with this.
Yeah, so
yeah, this house is gonna have to be
Azrael, during the time that Octavius was doing that, you've been skimming through the book, and a good thing about your biology is that you kind of remember things really quickly. So you're able to flip through and just automatically translate the cipher without really needing to write it down. You land on entry 571. The deed's been done. I don't think I can go back. It was much messier than I anticipated. Apparently what I had snuck her during the night wasn't strong enough, and she woke up during the process. It led to struggling and more of a mess. A rather shame, as one of the maids found out. As one of the maids with the struggle and came to check on us. Oh well, more material to study with. Hopefully, I'll be able to do what I need to with this. At the very least, no one seems to care that they've gone missing yet. Let's hope the money I've spent to make sure the other staff don't get interested in it was money well spent.
I am. Don't know why.
So, I'm good. Can I tell that Noctis is terrified? I'm just gonna say Noctis is terrified.
Noctis, are you terrified?
Kind of uncomfortable, disturbed, something along the way.
Roll a perception check, Red.
All right.
Wouldn't it be insight?
That would be insight. I mean, either way, I suck at it, but
he doesn't look terrified so much as a bit off.
Do you okay over there?
Yeah.
Insight.
Oh yeah, no, it was inside. My bad. But yes.
I'm inside
Okay.
and see if he's lying or not.
He's not lying.
You just seem like you're a little something threw you off.
It has to do with the experimentation or leading up to it.
Oh wow. Are we sure we can't burn this place to the ground yet?
Let's finish the basement. Then we'll figure out what to do after that.
Alright.
All right. So, Octavius,
Yes.
you actually notice in one of the journals there's a few pages that have been ripped out, and they line up with torn sections of the first journal that Azrael had that could be opened, the one with the map.
So someone ripped pages out of this one and put it in the other?
It effectively hid them there, yeah.
Huh.
You can line them up to get a more coherent story. They're pages from apparently the middle, from seemingly the middle. It mostly reads that the daughter found what she thought to be her mother wandering the halls in the middle of the night, but whatever it wasn't her mother at that point. Something was wrong with her. She looked alive, at least at first, but she wasn't breathing. She wasn't blinking. Her eyes had that 1,000-yard stare in them, even as she talked to her. It also didn't help that her skin looked pale, almost like the skin didn't have blood flowing through it. To test a theory, the daughter had stabbed a pen into her mother's arm. What leaked out was a grayish brown pus instead of blood.
Okay, that's not nearly as bad as where I thought this was going to go.
But you thought it'd go hentai?
What was perhaps the worst was that the mother didn't even react. Whatever was riding around in her mom's body. At the end of the next page, she details how she had to try and hide that from her father, as she feared he might be cross with her when he found out that she had stabbed the mother. Instead, all he did in the next entry, which you had always thought odd when you read through it, it described father being angry and taking something from her as punishment for going out at night. She was now put under curfew, but at the last page, she says, "I fear father knows, and I worry of the punishment he might dole out." Perhaps, and it ends there. From then on, it doesn't even mention the mother. You don't know what happened to her. The daughter seems convinced the mother died in illness and hasn't seen her body since. Any time she did, she chalks it up to hallucinations, grief. However, she is rather sad that one of the more strapping servant boys had left their employment. She always had great fun staring at them when they were doing their work. But according to father, they left because they had been offered a better job. Oh well. She's supposedly going out for tea today with a few friends. Maybe that'll be enjoyable.
Yeah, this... I just gotta say, dark.
Do you guys want to go to the basement now?
Let's go to the basement.
Yes.
Real common sense and logic.
Just one more thing. I have an unknown notes from somewhere around here where we started. Is it?
Yes.
Can I transfer it? Can I translate it with the cipher?
I'm trying to remember where you found those notes. I believe it was in the study.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, it does, and it details a much earlier entry into the book. It details entry 218. You notice that he. Okay, yeah. No, I have the transcript here. I can just read it off word for word. I've made a bit of a discovery recently. My daughter's death will not be in vain. Her tragic passing can be undone. Simply, the right forms of magic and the right form of payment must be made. I'm certain a few of the maids going missing won't be noticed by anyone too important, especially some of the more old ones that no one would actually look for. Her body is so well preserved, at least. I knew keeping her out of the ground was the right decision. Hopefully, within the week, she'll be resurrected. Hopefully, within the week, she will be back among us again. And maybe, for once, my wife might smile. End of entry. On the next page, you had always known they were arcane symbols of some kind, like a sort of ritualistic casting circle. The problem was most of the text surrounding it, detailing what it does and what to do with it, was in this cipher. Translating it, however, it appears to be a circle meant to tear a sort of pathway to another realm. Effectively, it creates a means of transferring energy of some shape or form to another realm of existence. It can't allow things to enter or leave, but it can allow objects or, say, for instance, the soul of a recently killed person to flow through it to the other point. It seems to mention something about a realm of death, though you have no idea, as it doesn't go further.
What's the entry of this? Does it compare to the
This is in 218, and the ones you have range from 562 to 584.
No, I'm trying to point it. If there was like after her mother died, or is it before?
There's no real indication of time. Though you, judging from the age of the paper, you can sort of guess this one is much earlier. Yeah, so you don't know, but maybe the basement holds the answers if you guys want to head down there.
I get the feeling we want to go down to the basement.
Well, I mean, that's the only place you haven't really checked. And now you got the key.
Well, we did check it and clear it out, then we found locks.
Yeah.
Alright. Head down the basement. On what I can only assume is day 3.
I'd say more 5.
Day 34.
We've been in this building a month. The freaking nun's going crazy.
Kane, do you want to do anything before you guys head down to the basement?
At this point, Kane's just like looking around, waiting for people to be done with the books.
Yeah, so Azrael, while you guys are walking down to the basement, you're just speed translating the rest of the entries. For the most part, it seems to, he never mentions it by name, but he never mentions the ritual by name, but he mentions a sort of ritual being performed to effectively gift new life into corpses of the recently slain.
Sorry, you were cutting out.
Yeah, sorry. He talks of a ritual to gift life into the corpses of the recently slain, Typically, this would be a resurrection spell, but apparently, at least according to him, his research indicates that resurrection strips a small part of the soul away, and that would be unacceptable for him. This ritual supposedly returns the soul in its full glory. No part of it is lost, no part of it is altered, no part of the body would be changed. The body would return to normal completely as it was before the moment before its death. Unfortunately, he hasn't perfected the ritual yet, and as such, he's had a few failures. The older maids, for example, being one of them. His wife was an unfortunate accident. The ritual requires a soul to power it, to grab hold of the soul in the desired soul in its entirety and force it back into the body. Unfortunately, his wife was not meant to be the price, but, well, the maids had been cutting it, so he figured might as well step it up a notch.
Dark.
But for the most part, apparently, he had to use the maid's body to resurrect his wife, as he realized having her disappear and the daughter reappear might raise completely different questions that could very much tarnish his reputation. So he bided his time, waited for her to be disgraced, maybe even waited for the woman who mostly had been putting a wrench into it, one of the investigators who summoned him, waited for her to make mistakes, waited for her to finally overstep. She apparently made a mistake that cost her dearly, and for that she was taken off the investigation into him. Thankfully, that allowed him to work again, and the fact that his wife had been so drastically altered, he equated to the grieving process of his youngest daughter dying. It had been only 3 years since then. The wife had obviously gone through a lot. The daughter, on the other hand, he claimed to also be suffering from grief. Random bouts of lost memory, drastic changes in her behavior. It was all easy to explain away. Unfortunately, he also realized that with the summons being sent through, that he'd need to start picking up the pace, thus leading to the last journal. You are now in the basements. The false shelf looms. What do you want to do with it?
I hold up the keys to it.
It's humming very loud. It's humming very strongly.
Do you think we should prepare first?
Like what? Like how?
I don't know. It feels like something big is on the other side. The dimensions sort of sorts.
I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Freaky Eyes over there. We should probably get ourselves in this defensive position. Squishy's behind the hardest hitter.
We're gonna swat this.
Yeah, so Octavius, you want to open the door?
I'm going to attempt to.
Okay. You slip the key in the lock, and before you can even turn it, it starts twisting on its own. It disappears in its entirety into it like twists and turns clockwise, counterclockwise, and then a full rotation counterclockwise, and then sinks into the door itself before you hear a as the door opens and you see inside the dim glow of some kind of equipment. And that's where we'll be ending it for the night.
God dang it. I'm hoping to shoot something.
You'll get plenty of that tomorrow. You're in the end phase of this one, boys.
Yay.
Hope that was good.
I think I want to do.
Night, guys.
That was a nice round. I had fun.